Hey Charlie, what did we just watch?
We just watched Young Justice Episode 2, Fireworks.
So,
Thoughts on Fireworks?
it was a good episode. I enjoyed it much more than the first.
I think that's mostly because you're privy to more things now, as opposed to what happened in the last one. Last episode still kept a few things in the shadows, and now it's tilting the quilt back a bit, allowing the viewer to see a little bit more.
Yeah. The episode basically began with basically Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash all trapped within Cadmus.
Cadmus being the lab where they bred Superboy.
Yes. And Superboy eventually comes to his senses and sets them free.
Well, didn't really come to his senses. He kind of realized that there's more to life than being Cadmus's weapon. So he just these guys seem cool. I'm gonna ride in that crew for a bit.
So he decided to rescue them. They then decide to go on an escape plan. They try to escape Cadmus, but they get stopped. And there was a really nice shot which I pointed out to you while we were watching the episode, where when they were in the corridor, there was a colour tone. It was a sort of red colour tone. So it was, and it was the shot. Oh, which one was it?
I think you were talking about those sweeping shot with the xenomorphs. By the way, xenomorphs are the general term for the creatures that Cadmus has bred. So, technically speaking, Superboy is a xenomorph in the technical term, but he is biologically Kryptonian.
Yeah, I'm starting to pick out which characters I like, and I see right now. I think the character that I like the most is Kid Flash.
Kid Flash.
I love his humour, so I do.
Kid Flash does have a bit of a fan following. He's quite a favourite. I think the reason why you started to pick out your favourite character now is because I think the point of that entire chase scene, which stretched from 5 minutes into the episode to about near the end, was to just point out how the crew kind of communicates with each other, how they deal with situations, kind of while being quite a fun little action ride.
I love Aqualad's compassion though. Aqualad is so compassionate. He might not be the funniest character or the most humorous, because we've already got other characters like Robin and Kid Flash for that. Whereas he's more the...
See, he's sensible. He is the...
Yeah, he's the sensible one. So
But he's far from being, I think, the typical straight man.
Yeah,
because he was able to flex a little bit.
Yeah, Superboy definitely had much more development in this episode than he did.
I wouldn't say development, because he didn't change. Well, actually, no, he did change a bit by the end. Forget that. Shut up! You were completely right.
But his character is much more developed in this. You start to see a different side to Superboy when he comes out of mind control.
Yes, basically within the last episode and this one, there are tiny xenomorphs that are able to telepathically control other people. And Cadmus was using this to try and control Superboy and think of him, convince him that he's nothing but a weapon. But he managed to shake that control off and run off with our merry gang.
So when it comes to the part where they're stopped by all the xenomorphs, or xenomorphs. Superboy has a telepathic conversation with...
They're on the run and they're wondering which way to go, and Superboy hears a voice in his head saying, "Go left, go right, go left." And it turns out that this is one of the xenomorph's assistants to the head scientist running Cadmus. And he pretty much foreshadows something to Superboy about being the savior of the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Oh, I thought that was really good. That was a really good touch.
Where do you think that's going to be going?
Well, it's definitely foreshadowing.
Yeah, to
the entire series by the looks of it.
There's going to be more. There is going to be more things coming in.
Right. Okay. Well, after he has this telepathic communication, he decides to lead the xenomorphs to freedom. And Guardian basically decides to come out of the whole mind manipulation.
Guardian, by the way, if we have not mentioned, Guardian was a superhero that was in Cadmus, but he was very under the cover, like under the cowl. Cowl. He didn't know exactly what Cadmus was doing because the Genomos was suppressing him and telling him what to do.
Yeah.
So he was basically just assuming he was doing all the right things, when in fact he was breeding an army of super strength Genomorph creatures.
Yeah, the Genomorph. So he tells them to run basically, and that he'll deal with Desmond, who is the
head scientist
of Cadmus.
Yeah.
Who's the head scientist of Cadmus. Finally, I got it right. Finally, I know who he is properly. Yeah. But he gets stopped by Desmond, and it was really quite an eerie transformation because he transforms into one of these Genomorphs.
Desmond drinks something called a blockbuster chemical, which will be that'll be useful later on. That's a useful chemical. That's kind of
unless it becomes redundant and goes out of business and stops selling DVDs.
So he takes a bit of the blockbuster serum, hulks out into this giant genomorphic monster.
Definitely a really, really creepy transformation. Like, I've seen many transformations in animated series, but that was definitely a really creepy one.
His skin was coming off, and
it was rather horrific.
His skin's hanging off of his cheek, just.
I mean, I can't really compare it to an American Werewolf in London, but if you can picture that sort of transformation, then you'll get the rough idea of how that transformation would look. But no, well done to the writer and the creator
animation
of the series, the animation team.
Yeah,
I thought they did a fantastic job with that transformation. But after that, it ends up in this really epic battle between Kid Flash, Robin, and Superboy taking on, and Aqualad as well, taking on Desmond in his Genomorph form. And it was a really, really good fight. They were all using their initiative. I thought they
were all using their abilities. I think that's the more important thing. Because it's still the second episode, so you need to establish their abilities. And part of the fun of superhero shows is just seeing the different characters be different and have different abilities. That's what Teen Titans always specialize in. And this show definitely kind of marks on that. And tries to shove it in your face as much as possible without being too graining.
Yeah.
So it's constantly going Aqualad has these two things where he can make weapons. Kid Flash runs really fast, as is evidenced by the name.
Robin's Robin.
Robin's rich.
Yeah, Robin's rich. But no, after this battle they take down Desmond, and after this we see the whole of the Justice League come down.
They've all arrived. They've seen the chaos that is Cadmus, and we're like, wait a minute, things are going down, poops hit the fan. And
it's safe to say that they weren't happy, and Superboy and Superman finally meet, but it's very, very, very tense between those two. They really do not like one another.
What would you think if you suddenly found out you had a clone of yourself? Without...
I'd probably be friends with myself. I'd probably be like, "Oh, hey, man."
And when you hug each other, I will not be able to resist the joke of
hugging myself.
I would not be able to resist the temptation to say, "Quit touching yourself."
But yeah, so they meet. It's extremely tense, and for once, it's really, really interesting to see. I know the tension between Superman and Lex Luthor, but with this, it was completely different because he's the same as Superman. So Superman's very, very awkward, and
he's not awkward. He's very kind of standoffish.
Yeah, it was hilarious though when Superman went over and he's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna take care of this guy and deal with the big guy stuff.
You go play with your friends.
Yeah, and he just sort of flies off. But after this has been established,
you learn a little bit more about their relationship as per season 1. Not so much in season 2, but in season 1, it kind of
I'm looking forward to seeing more Superman, Superboy tension.
You okay?
And I love the way Superboy eventually got his name, which after the meeting between the Justice League and the now known Young Justice.
Well, they're not called Young Justice or anything. They're just called as the team.
Yeah.
I think
to the viewer, it's now sort of.
I think the idea was they were supposed to be called the Teen Titans, but Teen Titans Go was already running on the show, so they couldn't exactly call that because that would just really confuse casual audiences.
Yeah, probably.
So now they're just referred to as the team, or the cave, or the one that has Robin, or the team that has Kid Flash.
Yeah, or the other guy that's a part of that team. But yeah,
our child soldier program.
Super Soldier. Yeah, but after this has been established with the meeting of the Justice League and the Young Justice, they go into the sort of Justice League Batcave.
No, they go into Mount Justice.
Mount Justice. Sorry, yeah.
Batman said it before. This was where the League used to operate before we had the orbital watchtower.
Yeah.
So now, I really like how they kind of handled the situation. They didn't just say, "Yeah, you can come into the League." They kind of just said, "Okay, we're gonna stretch your lead a little bit. Sorry, we're gonna stretch your lead a little bit. You're gonna do it on our terms, and they appoint different people to kind of take care of them. Red Tornado is going to be their carer. Black Canary is going to be their trainer, and Batman is going to be their mission giver, whatever that is. Mission operator, I think the technical term would be.
I guess you could class it as that. So yeah, they decide to do that, and then we finally see a new member of the Young Justice be introduced, called Miss Martian, who is Martian Manhunter's niece, which was really, really cool, and I have a feeling that she's definitely going to have some development for the series.
Oh,
I know you've seen it, so you obviously know this.
She's probably one of the most developed characters in the show.
Right, well, I'm really looking forward to seeing
her. Another character you haven't met yet that's coming.
Okay.
Them two.
Oh, wait, no! Save it for another episode.
Okay, them two are gonna get them to get the limelight on probably the best development, but probably not in the best sense.
Yeah. So basically, they're allowed to do missions. However, the Justice League have said that they'll be taking on the big boy stuff.
Yeah.
But they'll let them still go and do missions.
Covert. So basically, they're doing the secret operations when the Justice League is more of like the I can't get my words up today, I apologise. The really big show stuff.
Right. Well, I have a feeling the series is definitely going to progress and it's going to get better.
So, you've just witnessed your first two-parter episode. How do you feel it was like overall?
It was awesome. Oh, we haven't gotten to the bit after we've established that they're now the Young Justice.
No, we've watched the first two episodes. This is like
no, I was meaning the part after that.
Okay.
What happens after that is we see some sort of CD plan, I guess you could say, between some mysterious villain.
Ah, okay. You get your first look at your overarching villains, I imagine.
The villain that's gonna overshadow the series.
Well, the group of villains. It's very kind of like Power Ranger. It's very Power Ranger-y, isn't it? Because they all have like giant monitors.
Please tell me it's Ivan Ooze. Please tell me he's the main villain.
No, it's just like
that'd be amazing.
The way it's set up is that it's very. The colour scheme is very light blue, whitish, and you've got a bunch of monitors saying like, "Wow, how are we going to deal with this problem, sir? I have no idea, Mr. Jensen. How are we going to do this problem, Mr. Sampson? Mr. Sampson, do please calm down. You're causing a havoc. I don't want to calm down. The kids are here. I know it's bring your child to work day. Please stop." And etc.
To be fair, it wouldn't be the craziest thing that would have happened, like crossover-wise, because like. I'm not too sure.
I'm using that as an example, Dan. Don't get carried away with it.
No, because like the Power Rangers, they crossed over with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Well, there's that reaction.
No.
It was interesting. That's the only thing that I can say about that. But anyways, thank you for watching this episode of Young Justice Logs. Another episode will be coming. But no, thank you very much for watching, guys. And yeah, if you want to see more, click the subscribe button down below. Click the like button if you feel like it. You don't have to.
We're not gonna force you.
Yeah, but
like it.
But no, thank you very much for watching. And Charlie, do you want to end it?
I'll just see you in the next one.